Hey there. Hello. Let's get right to it, shall we? A few days back, I had a colonoscopy done. I'm okay. All clear. The doctor just had a bit of a gut feeling, literally. And the gut is doing fine. Thank you very much. But this is the story of why I had it done, what that entailed, and why every one of you, my dear old friends, should put it on your schedule as soon as you approach your half century. Let's start with that last bit, 50. Pachas. That's around the time surveys say, and by surveys I mean countless scientific studies, that's around the time when for a significant fraction of us we develop these things called polyps in our intestines. And for a significant fraction of us, these polyps will turn cancerous. Colon cancer. That sounds really shitty. Polyps say aatadi, putty, putty, putty. You either have polyps or you don't. They might turn cancerous or they may not. But wouldn't you want to know and solve the problem if there is one? Even if it is a pain in the ass. It turns out that it's actually not such a big pain in the ass. But first, I have to clarify something rather important. Yeah, I'm not 50 yet. Okay, that would have been altogether unfortunate if that rumor were to go around, wouldn't it? Why then, you asked, did I get my colonoscopy done these unspecified many years ahead of schedule? Well, over the last few years, reassuringly infrequently, and yet sufficiently scarily, I've seen blood down there, bright pink against the stark white porcelain, khoon bhari potty. So I told my doctor about it about 6 months back. The doctor said, the next time it happens, collect a sample and bring it in for testing. This turned out to be pretty daft advice in my case. Here's why. It did happen again a couple of months back, and with me, when it happens, it stays that way for a couple of days. So, the evening it happened, I set my plan in motion. I stored away the following items in the bathroom, all strategically placed within easy reach: a disposable plastic cup, a Ziploc bag, a brown paper bag. Well, the rest of this part of the story can probably be left as an exercise for your imagination. Just don't get too vivid, alright? Stop. Let's pick up the story a few days later. After I had submitted the sample for testing, and then I had a doctor's appointment to discuss the test results. The doctor said, yes, the test confirms there was blood in your stool. What? What the? Dude, I could have told you that. I saw the bloody blood with my own eyes. All my preparation, my adventure with the plastic cup, the Ziploc bag, and the brown paper bag, all for this, just to test and discover that water is wet. That when I saw blood down there, there was, well, blood down there. Okay. To be fair to them, I understand that the situation isn't always as black and white, or pink and white, shall we say. So such a test does make sense when you just suspect that there is blood in your stool. Alright, let that be, fine. The doctor then referred me to a specialist, a gastroenterologist. For, he explained, in all likelihood I just have hemorrhoids, also known as piles, but I am approaching 50. Did I say that I still have an unspecified number of years to go for that? Good. Okay, anyway, so, and rectal bleeding can indeed be a symptom of colon cancer. And so I found myself about a week back beginning my prep for colonoscopy. The prep week is kind of not bad at all. There are certain dietary restrictions that boil down to only eat white food. Well, not white people food, but literally white food. White bread, white rice, white potatoes, white cheese, white meat. No seeds, no nuts, pretty much no veggies, no fruit. I translated all this to woohoo, all cheese sandwiches all the time. Alright. No red wine. Oh, no red wine, what? Aisa mat kar yaar. Okay, fine, just beer and scotch then. The last day of prep, the day before the procedure, is somewhat more austere. Only a liquid diet in the morning and then a very special evening. I'll get to that special evening in just a minute. But the other restriction on that last day is no alcohol, not even beer, scotch, whatever. So, like every responsible father, I did what I had to and just drank way too much scotch the night before this last day of prep while chatting with my daughter. Too much scotch. So much scotch that I ended up oversharing, blabbering, all kinds of stuff that should have stayed stuffed to my bemused 18-year-old daughter until I passed out on the couch. Sorry, sweetie. And so it was that on that last day of prep, even though technically I stayed true to the letter of the instructions that demanded no drinking alcohol, I was nonetheless pretty smashed throughout the day from the previous night's shenanigans. And that brings us to that very special last evening of prep. Exhibit A, a gallon of fluid, also called prep, my companion for that special evening. You got to drink it all of this, in 2 stints. Half of it starting at 6 p.m. and the other half starting at 10 p.m. And what does it do, you ask? It's essentially Drano for your internal plumbing. Everything comes out. Everything. Over a period of 5 hours and about 20 gut-wrenching sittings, you ready yourself. You clear the road for the presidential colonoscope that the doctor plans to parade through your gut the next day. And this is the part that most people tout as the toughest part of the colonoscopy experience. Perhaps rightly so. But let me pass on some secrets. Secrets that, admittedly, I culled out of the internet, but ones that I can now certify for you. The prep liquid, which you prepare by adding water to a bunch of Drano powder or whatever, well, it supposedly tastes terrible. Your instructions might suggest using ice cold water or Gatorade for masking the taste. Do not do that. Do not. A gallon of ice cold water is really, really, really hard to drink. And Gatorade itself, in my unquestionable opinion, tastes like plumbing gone bad. No, just use regular water at room temperature. As for the taste, you don't even have to taste any of it or much of it at least. Exhibit B, a straw. Exhibit C, a tin of Altoids. Here's what you do. You hold your breath. You use a straw. You drink using deep sips that go pretty much straight into the throat. And once you've finished each 8 ounce glass of prep fluid, barely having tasted any of it, just suck on an Altoids mint for a few seconds. Like this. My sincere and deep apologies to Robert Mondavi. Sorry, mate. All for a good cause. So, there you have it. Oh, you might need to do this, yeah? Lick on an Altoids mint. And so, with all these tips and with a good book by your side, this was mine, that evening is not bad at all, not bad at all. And one last tip. What did I call them? Those 20 sittings? Well, the only humane thing to do after those sittings is to take care of yourself every time the Desi way. The Desi way. Yes, that Desi way. And so then the procedure came and it went smoothly. I had the doctor gave me a bit of fentanyl and there was no pain, nothing, absolutely. And I saw the whole thing on the TV monitor. It was like my own private screening of that movie Inner Space. The doctor gave me a clean chit. There are no polyps at this time. My next colonoscopy can wait for 10 more years. The doctor's report also complimented me. Bowel preparation was excellent. Yes. So, a toast to my doctor, to all doctors and to science. Cheers. And I hope that when it's time for you, when it's time for your colonoscopy, you will have the stomach for it. You'll have the guts to do it. You must ache or arcane. You will just go for it. Thanks for watching. Bye.